The message arrived on an ordinary Tuesday morning. At least, that's how history would remember it. One moment, billions of people across Earth were going about their normal lives. The next, every phone, computer, television, satellite, military display, and digital screen on the planet froze at exactly the same instant. No firewall stopped it. No encryption slowed it. No human system even recognized how it had entered. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Commander James Walker stood in the Global Defense Command Center, watching the impossible unfold across the wall-sized tactical display. Veterans around him stared in stunned silence as the unknown transmission ignored every layer of planetary security humanity had ever built. Then the words appeared. The translation was flawless. Every language, every dialect, every nation received the exact same message. To the primitive inhabitants of Sol 3, the Galactic Council has determined your world suitable for integration into the Interstellar Authority. You will surrender all military assets and submit to Council governance within 7 planetary rotations. Failure to comply will result in immediate corrective action. Silence swallowed the command center. Some officers looked horrified. Others simply stared at the screen, unable to believe first contact had arrived as an ultimatum. Commander Walker never blinked. He read the message once. Then, to the confusion of everyone watching, the corner of his mouth curled into a slow, almost amused smile. It wasn't the smile of a man facing defeat. It was the smile of someone who had just realized the Galactic Council had made the biggest mistake in its entire history. If they could see it at 55 years old, he had spent 30 years preparing for this exact moment. "Sir," his assistant spoke up from behind him. "All defense platforms report ready. Should we reveal our presence?" "No," Walker replied, his voice calm. "Let them think we as primitive as they believe, maintain emissions control, keep our ships dark." The command center hummed with controlled activity. Hundreds of officers worked at their stations, each trained for this day on the screens above the alien message. Continue to play, listing the many benefits of submission to the Council's rule. Walker walked to the central platform, his boots clicking against the metal floor. "Get me the president," he ordered, straightening his uniform. Within moments, the leader of the United Earth government appeared on the main screen. They finally showed up. "The president," said, her expression grim. "Are we ready?" Walker nodded. "The Sol defense grid is fully operational. All orbital platforms remain undetected. The moon base reports green across all systems, and Mars Command confirms their readiness." "What's your assessment of their message?" "Arrogant, condescending." Walker pulled up a tactical display. "They're broadcasting from a single vessel at the edge of our solar system. Our sensors detect no major fleet movements yet. They honestly believe we're defenseless." The president's eyes narrowed. They didn't even bother to check for defenses. "No, ma'am. Their scans are basic atmosphere composition, population centers, power signatures. They're looking at us like we're still burning coal and fighting with gunpowder." A young officer rushed up to Walker's platform, tablet in hand. "Sir, we're detecting quantum signatures. They're similar to the ones from the Roswell incident." In 47, Walker took the tablet, studying the data, just as we thought. "They're using the same technology we reversed engineered 80 years ago." He looked up at the president. "They have no idea. We've had quantum shielding since before the first moon landing." The president leaned forward in her chair. "Options we play dumb," Walker replied. "Without hesitation, let them think their ultimatum has us scared. Meanwhile, we activate Phase 1 of the Titan Protocol. Casualties if we do this right. Minimal. We've spent 3 generations preparing for this moment. Every city has quantum shelters. Our orbital defense grid can knock out their ships before they enter the atmosphere. And if they try to hit us with their main fleet," Walker's smile returned, "well, they'll learn why you don't corner a species that spent most of its history preparing for wars that didn't even exist yet." The president nodded slowly. "You have full authorization, Commander. Implement Titan Protocol Phase 1. But remember, we want peace in the end, just not on their terms." "Understood." Mom Walker turned to his staff. "Send our response to the Council ship. Keep it simple. Tell them Earth's leaders need the full 7 days to discuss their generous offer." As the message was sent, Walker watched the alien ship on the tactical display. In 7 days, they would learn humanity wasn't primitive. They were patient. They hadn't spent the last century building weapons. They had spent it building contingencies. And now finally, those contingencies would prove their worth. One more thing, Walker called out to his communications officer. Send a tight beam message to all our stealth platforms authorization code, Prometheus Rising. The officer's eyes widened slightly. Yes, sir. Message sent. Walker turned back to the main screen, watching the alien vessel hover at the edge of their solar system. In 7 days, the Galactic Council would learn a valuable lesson about judging species by their apparent technological level. In 7 days, humanity would give them their first and final warning deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility that didn't officially exist. Dr. Anna Miller stood before a massive quantum containment chamber. The soft blue glow of captured dark matter particles lit up her face as she reviewed the latest test results. Power output is holding steady, at 300% above projected levels. She reported, her voice echoing in the vast underground chamber. The aliens, we won't know what hit them. Behind her commander, Walker walked along the elevated platform, looking down at the rows of quantum reactors that powered Earth's defense grid. How long have you worked here, Doctor? 25 years, she replied, not looking up from her tablet. Started right after the Beijing incident. Walker nodded. The Beijing incident, when a small alien scout ship had crashed in rural China. The world's governments had covered it up, but the technology they recovered had changed everything. That single crashed ship had given humanity its greatest advantage: the knowledge that they weren't alone, and the time to prepare. Show me the weapons test from yesterday. Walker requested. Anna pulled up a holographic display. We fired a single dark matter pulse at an asteroid in the Kuiper Belt. The energy beam was completely invisible to standard detection methods. She smiled. The asteroid didn't just break apart, it ceased to exist at an atomic level. The test results floated before them in glowing blue numbers. What they had achieved here went beyond anything the Galactic Council thought possible. While alien civilizations had mastered faster than light travel, they had never managed to harness dark matter. Something about human biology, their scientists discovered, made them uniquely capable of perceiving and controlling it. The Council spies have been watching us, Walker said, looking at the massive facility around them. But they're looking in the wrong places. They see our fossil fuel plants, our wind farms, our solar arrays, while our real power plants are hidden underground, powered by technology they don't even know is possible. Anna finished. Classic misdirection. An alarm suddenly blared through the facility. Anna's tablet lit up with urgent notifications. We've detected quantum scans from the Council ship. She reported they're doing a deeper analysis of Earth's capabilities. Walker smiled. Right on schedule. Are the decoy signatures in place? Yes, sir. They'll detect exactly what we want them to. A primitive civilization just beginning to understand nuclear fusion. The quantum shielding around our facilities is holding perfectly. They can't see any of this. The commander walked to the edge of the platform, looking down at the vast array of machinery below humanity. Had spent decades building facilities like this one all around the world, while they showed the aliens an image of scattered, divided nations, barely able to reach their own moon. The reality was far different. What about the fleet? Walker asked. Anna switched her display to show a different set of readings. All ships report ready. We have 300 vessels hidden in the dark side bases of the Moon and Mars. Quantum engines are primed. Dark matter weapons are charged. The moment you give the order, we can have them anywhere in the solar system in under 5 minutes. Walker checked his watch. 6 days remained until the Council's deadline. 6 days to perfect their act of being a helpless primitive species. The Council's arrogance would be their undoing. They didn't even consider that Earth might have detected their surveillance ships decades ago. Dr. Walker said, turning to leave. Send all test data to Central Command. When the Council makes their move, I want our response to be perfect. Yes, sir. Anna paused, then asked, do you think they'll actually try to attack us? Walker stopped at the door. They will. They conquered hundreds of worlds this way. Show up. Make demands. Demonstrate their power against a helpless planet. He smiled again. But we're not helpless. We're just very, very good at hiding. As he left the facility, Walker received a message from orbit. The Council ship had finished its scans of Earth. In their arrogance, they had fallen for humanity's deception completely. They still thought Earth was a primitive world ripe for conquest. In 6 days, they would learn just how wrong they were. The Council fleet arrived exactly when expected, 12 hours before their own deadline. 500 ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, their massive forms blocking out the stars as they positioned themselves around Earth. Their arrival was meant to terrify humanity. Instead, in the hidden command center, Commander Walker watched them with cold calculation. "They're right where we want them," he said, studying the tactical display status of orbital platforms. All 300 platforms, still dark and undetected. Sir General Rita Stone reported from her station. "Enemy fleet has no idea. They're surrounded the Council's flagship, twice the size of the others, moved to the front of their formation." Transmission burst through all Earth's communication channels. Primitive beings of Suri. A deep voice bound. "Your time has expired. Your attempts to delay were pointless. Surrender now, or we will demonstrate truth." Power Walker pressed a button on his command console. "This is Commander Walker of Earth. We request 1 hour to prepare our surrender documents." The alien voice laughed. "You have 10 minutes after that. We will destroy one of your cities as a demonstration." Walker cut the transmission around him. The command center hummed with controlled activity. Not a single person showed fear. They had trained for this moment, their entire lives. All defense grid crews report ready. Rita announced dark matter reactors at full power, quantum shields at maximum strength. Walker nodded. "Send the code phrase to all Earth forces. Sleeping giant awakens high above Earth, hidden in plain sight." Humanity's orbital defense platforms waited. Each one contained enough firepower to destroy a small moon. The Council ships floated between them. "Completely unaware, sir," a young officer called out. "They're charging weapons. Target appears to be New York City. Let them fire first," Walker ordered. "Let's see what they've got." The Council flagship's main cannon lit up with green energy. A massive beam shot toward Earth's surface. It never reached its target. The quantum shields above New York activated, becoming visible for the first time. The alien weapon dispersed harmlessly against them, like water hitting a steel wall. Now Walker commanded, "Show them what humanity can do." All around the Council fleet, Earth's defense platforms shimmered into view as their stealth fields dropped before the aliens could react. 300 points of blue light erupted simultaneously. Dark matter beams cut through space. 50 Council ships vanished in the first second, another 100 in the next. The aliens had no defense against weapons they didn't know could exist. Enemy fleet, attempting emergency jump to light speed, Rita reported calmly. "Quantum disruptors active. They're trapped." Walker opened a channel to all Council ships. "This is Earth command to the Galactic Council fleet. That was 1% power of one type of weapon. You have 30 seconds to power down your ships, or we'll demonstrate 10%. The Council ships froze in space. Their return transmission was filled with panic. "Impossible," the alien commander shouted. "You're primitives. You barely have spaceflight." "We let you think that," Walker replied. "For decades. We let you watch us. We showed you what you wanted to see. Now you have 20 seconds on the tactical display." Council ships began powering down one by one, in under a minute. The greatest fleet the Council had ever assembled surrendered to a world they had thought defenseless. Walker turned to his communications officer. "Send a tight beam quantum transmission to Earth's hidden fleet. Tell them to prepare for Phase 2. He looked back at the main screen, where the Council's mighty ships now floated powerless in space. They had thought Earth would be an easy conquest. Instead, they had awakened a giant that had been preparing for them. For generations. "Send one more message to the Council flagship," Walker ordered. "Tell them this was your warning shot. Run while you still can." The real demonstration of Earth's power hadn't even begun. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council had never been this chaotic in its 1,000 years of existence. High Commander Rex paced before the massive circular table, his gray skin pale with fear as he addressed the emergency session. The holographic displays behind him showed the devastating defeat of their fleet, playing on repeat for all 50 Council members. to see how Council Leader Marcus demanded, pounding his fist on the ancient table. How did we miss this level of technology? Rex stopped pacing. They fooled us for over 70 years. They fooled us completely. He gestured to the displays, which now showed Earth's public technology. Look at their visible technology: fossil fuels, primitive rockets, basic satellites. It was all a front. The chamber erupted, and angry shouts and accusations. These were the leaders of the most powerful species in the galaxy, and they had just watched their invincible fleet surrender to a primitive world in less than 5 minutes. Show them, Rex commanded, and the displays changed to new images. This is what our surviving ships detected after the attack. Underground bases larger than cities, quantum technology beyond our understanding, and worst of all, he paused, his voice shaking, they can control dark matter. The chamber fell silent in all of galactic history. No species had managed to harness dark matter. It was thought impossible. There's more, Rex continued. We found their contingency plans, hundreds of them. They have protocols for every scenario we could think of, and thousands we never imagined. An older council member stood up. What kind of species spends 3 generations preparing for a war they weren't even sure would come? Humans do, answered Dr. Vix, the council's chief cob biologist. She stepped forward, displaying new data. I've been studying their history. They're different from every species we've encountered. When they detect a potential threat, they don't wait to see if it's real. They prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. The displays showed human history, centuries of conflicts, alliances, and innovations. Look at their military doctrine, Vix continued. Every other species develops weapons to fight known enemies. Humans, they develop weapons to fight enemies they haven't even met yet. They war game scenarios that seem impossible just in case. Council Leader Marcus leaned forward. What are you saying? I'm saying we made the worst possible mistake. We looked at their public technology and judged them primitive. We never asked why a species capable of splitting the atom still appeared to burn fossil fuels. We never wondered why their space program seemed to progress so slowly, despite their clear intelligence. Rex nodded grimly. They saw us watching them. Instead of revealing their true capabilities, they used our surveillance against us. Every primitive technology we saw was exactly what they wanted us to see. New alerts flashed across the displays. Council members gasped as they saw the data. That's not possible. Someone whispered it is, Rex replied. We just detected their real fleet emerging from quantum tunnels. 300 ships appearing simultaneously at every major council world. They could strike our homeworlds before we could even raise our shields. Marcus stood slowly. Options only one, Rex said. We accept their terms, whatever they are, because right now humanity isn't just warning us to run, they're showing us they can end this war before we even begin it. The chamber fell silent again as the council members watched the displays. Earth's hidden fleet hung in orbit around their home worlds, a silent reminder that humanity had outplayed them at every step. Send the message, Marcus ordered. Tell Earth we're ready to talk, and add a personal note. He looked around the chamber at his fellow council members. Tell them they have our complete attention. Now the message was sent. The fate of the Galactic Council now rested in the hands of a species they had gravely underestimated. Operation Thunderstrike began at exactly midnight. Universal Earth time. Commander Walker stood on the bridge of the Eds, Destiny Earth's most advanced warship, through the quantum blast viewport. He watched as 300 human ships emerged. From hidden bases across the solar system, all ships reported. Ready Admiral Reed's voice came through the command. Channel strike teams in position. Quantum tunnels calculated and locked. Walker nodded, looking at the tactical display showing their targets. The Council's major military bases, shipyards and command centers. Not to destroy them, but to demonstrate that they could begin Phase 1. Walker ordered. Show them what humanity can really do across the solar system. Earth's ships activated their quantum drives simultaneously. In a flash of blue light, they vanished less than a second later. They reappeared at their designated targets throughout Council space. The Eed's Destiny materialized above the Council's largest shipyard. Alarms blared across the massive facility as their sensors detected the impossible. A human ship, using technology they hadn't known existed, open a channel to all Council facilities. Walk commanded, let them see who we really are on thousands of screens across Council space. Walker's image appeared behind him. The bridge crew worked with calm efficiency, their advanced technology, making the Council's best ships look primitive in comparison. "This is Commander Walker of the Earth Defense Force," he announced. "As you can see, we're not the primitives. You thought we were. Each of our ships now holds position above a critical Council facility. We could destroy them all with a single command." He paused, letting the message sink in. "But that's not why we're here. We're here to demonstrate what happens when you threaten humanity." At his signal, Earth's ships activated their dark matter arrays. Beams of invisible energy shot out, not at the Council facilities but at empty space nearby, where the beams hit reality itself, seemed to tear open what you're seeing. "This controlled dark matter manipulation," Walker continued. "We can use it to create or destroy it. Will the choice of which we do depends entirely on your next actions." Reports flooded in from across Council space. Earth's ships had appeared simultaneously at over 300 locations. The Council's mighty defense fleet was powerless. Their weapons couldn't even detect the quantum shields protecting Earth's vessels. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "Council ships are standing down across all sectors. Their weapons are powering down." Walker nodded. "Phase 2. Show them the grid at his command." Thousands of small satellites decloaked in Council space. They had been there for years, placed secretly by Earth's stealth. Ships, each one contained enough dark matter power to disable an entire planet's defenses. "Those satellites have been watching you for decades," Walker explained to the stunned Council leaders. "While you thought we were struggling to reach our own moon, we were mapping every corner of your space." The Council's emergency channel crackled to life. "How?" a voice demanded. "How did you hide all this?" "Simple," Walker replied. "We watched you watching us. Every time you send a spy ship, we learn more about your technology. Every time you scanned Earth, we fed you exactly what you expected to see. You saw what you wanted to see. A primitive species, easy to conquer." He smiled. "Instead, you found a species that has spent generations preparing for this exact moment. We didn't build this fleet to fight a war. We built it to prevent one." The Council's response was immediate and unanimous. Their surrender signals flashed across every command screen on the Destiny's bridge. Walker looked out at the massive Council shipyard, now completely at Earth's mercy. "Send the final message," he ordered. "Tell them we accept their surrender, and we're ready to discuss terms. But first," he paused, making sure every Council world could hear his next words. "Remind them that this was just a demonstration. They still haven't seen what humanity can really do when we're actually trying." The message was clear. Earth wasn't just ready for war. They have been ready for generations. The Grand Council chamber fell silent as Commander Walker walked in. Every seat was filled. All 50 Council species had come to hear Earth's terms, armed only with a small data tablet. Walker approached the central platform. "Has surrendered, your defenses lie exposed. Your world, sit under our guns." Walker began, his voice echoing through the vast chamber. "And yet here I stand, not to demand your surrender, but to offer you a choice." The massive screens behind him lit up, showing Earth's hidden technological achievements. Each image made the Council members sink deeper into their seats. "For 3 generations, we prepared," Walker continued, "not because we wanted war, but because we knew this day would come. Every child on Earth grew up knowing that somewhere out there, among the stars, someone might try to conquer us." He tapped his tablet and new images appeared. Earth's quantum shields, dark matter weapons, and the vast underground cities they had built. "You thought us primitive, because we still used fossil fuels. You never asked why a species, capable of harnessing dark matter, would pretend to struggle with basic rocket technology." Council leader Marcus stood up. Why maintain such a deception?" Walker smiled. "Because humanity learned one vital lesson from our own history. The most dangerous enemy is the one you don't know exists. While your spies watched our public technology, our real advances remained hidden. Every time you scanned Earth, We learned more about your scanning technology than you learned about us. He pressed another button on his tablet. The chambers' lights dimmed as a holographic map appeared, showing thousands of small dots scattered throughout Council space. These are our stealth satellites, Walker explained. Placed over decades, they've mapped every Council world, every defense system, every weakness. We know more about your civilization than you know about yourselves. Jests filled the chamber. The dots covered every major Council world and installation. But that's not why I'm here, Walker continued. I'm here to offer you what you never offered us, a real choice. He stepped forward, looking each Council member in the eye. Humanity doesn't want to rule the galaxy. We don't want your surrender or your resources. What we want is simple respect and peace. Not peace through weakness, but peace through strength. The chamber erupted in whispers as Walker activated one final display. It showed Earth's full military capability, technologies that made even the Council's most advanced weapons look primitive. Here's our offer, Walker announced, equal membership in the Council for Earth. No more conquests of prim worlds, no more forced integrations. Every species gets the chance to develop at their own pace. He paused, letting his words sink in. Or you can refuse. You can try to fight us, and you can watch his every weapon. You see here, every technology we've hidden gets used not for defense, but for war. Council leader Marcus stepped forward. And if we accept, then humanity will share our advances together. We can explore the galaxy, not as conquerors, but as equals. Our quantum drive technology alone could revolutionize Council space travel. Our dark matter understanding could solve your energy crisis. Walker looked around the chamber one final time. You have 1 hour to decide. Choose carefully. This isn't just a warning. It's a chance for a new beginning. He turned to leave, then stopped at the chamber's entrance. One little thing, he added. Remember, what you've seen is just what we're willing to show you. Humanity has always been good at keeping secrets, and we're keeping our best ones just in case the door closed behind him, leaking the Council to make their choice. In 1 hour, they would either gain humanity as an ally or face them as an enemy. And deep in Council space, Earth's fleet waited ready for either outcome. The Council's decision took less than 30 minutes. Commander Walker sat in the waiting chamber. Council leader Marcus entered holding an ancient ceremonial staff, the symbol of Council authority. The old alien's hands shook slightly as he approached. In 1,000 years, Marcus said, no one has ever held the Council at such a disadvantage. You could take everything from us. Instead, you offer partnership. Walker stood. Taking everything is easy. Building something better together. That's the real challenge behind Marcus. The chamber doors opened fully. All 50 Council members filed in each, carrying their own ceremonial items. The vote had been unanimous. We accept Earth's terms, Marcus announced formally. The age of conquest ends today. A new era of cooperation begins. Walker nodded, activating his command tablet across Council space. Earth ships began powering down their weapons. The stealth satellites remained active. Trust would come with time, but humanity hadn't survived this long by being careless. There's something you should know, Marcus said quietly. We found records from other conquered worlds. None of them ever managed what Earth did. None of them saw us coming, and prepared like you did. Humanity has always been different, Walker replied. We don't wait for threats to prove themselves. Elves real, we prepare for the worst. While working toward the best, every human child for 3 generations grew up knowing that somewhere out there, someone might come to conquer us. The main display activated, showing live feeds from Earth. Crowds celebrated in the streets as hidden defense platforms decloaked worldwide. Massive underground hangars opened, revealing technology that made the Council's best weapons look ancient. All this, Marcus gestured at the images, just in case we came. Walker smiled. Not just you. We prepared for everything. Invasion, cosmic disasters, our own worst impulses. Those underground cities, they're not just military bases. They're arcs built to preserve our species. No matter what happened, a new alert flashed on Walker's tablet, right on schedule. The first wave of Earth's educational fleet was launching ships filled with teaching Andras scientists and diplomats ready to share humanity's knowledge with their new allies. There will be challenges, Walker continued. Some council worlds won't like the new balance of power. Some humans won't trust aliens easily, but together we can build something unprecedented. Marcus nodded slowly. You said earlier that humanity keeps its best secrets. What did you mean? Insurance. Walker replied simply. Trust is earned, peace is maintained, but capability. He looked at his tablet, where reports showed Earth's defense grid powering down to standby mode. Capability is what guarantees both. The ceremony that followed was brief but historic. Earth was officially recognized as a full council member, with all rights and responsibilities that entailed. But everyone present knew the reality. The galaxy would never be the same. 1 month later, Walker stood on the observation deck of humanity's new embassy on the council home world. Below him, human teachers worked alongside alien scientists, sharing knowledge that would revolutionize galactic society. Earth's quantum drive technology alone had already cut travel times between council worlds by 90%. Sir, his aide approached with a report. The first joint human council defense fleet is ready for launch, and the new first contact protocols have been implemented across all council. Spacewalker nodded, watching alien children play with human kids in the embassy garden below. This was why they had prepared so thoroughly, not just to prevent war, but to be ready for peace. Send a message to Earth, command, he ordered. Tell them Operation Thunderstrike is officially complete, but maintain alert level at standard readiness. Because humanity had learned its lesson well. Peace through strength, trust through verification, and always be prepared for what might come next. In the sky above, Earth's ships patrolled alongside council vessels, a visible reminder that the galaxy's newest allies were also its most formidable guardians. The warning had been delivered, the lesson had been learned, and a new chapter in galactic history had begun.